Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Yesterday in NBA action, the Cavaliers got a win against the Pistons 116-109. Donovan Mitchell had 35 in the win, but it was James Harden who closed out the game for the Cavs with 7 points in the final 2 minutes. Head coach Kenny Atkinson spoke on Harden's performance late.
It's the James Harden I've seen for how many years he's been in the NBA. That's the James we know. We needed it tonight, right? We're searching. We got some good screenings into some the matchups we wanted, and he went to work.
The Cavs still trail the Pistons 2-1 in the series. Game 4 is tomorrow at 8. Today in baseball, both Ohio teams suiting up at 1:40 as the Guardians play the Twins and the Reds have the Astros. Coverage begins right here on The Fan for the Reds at 1:10. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show.
Oh, yeah. Let's start with some energy today. How's it hanging? Colbert team is Dylan Gonzalez, Isaiah Jacob. Everything up until the Memorial Tournament is considered a warm-up show. We're all just practicing for when we get out there.
Yeah.
As we found out this week officially that this show is going on the road. So I guess that would be June 7th.
I am shocked they're letting us do a remote show.
I'm deeming this the first day in my career that I've ever been important. I'm going out there. Remote broadcast, not great for the broadcasters necessarily because there are many distractions and you're trying to focus and you're trying to gather your thoughts.
Right, you're outside of you're on the road basically.
Yeah.
Like a road environment, like in like going to like Oregon and playing a game. That's what I would equate it to.
Yeah, it is a road game. You're not in your environment. You might have some people come up. I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never done one, but they all the important people say that you're out of your element. It's comfortable being safe in the studio, temperature controlled. We got a fan if we need it. We're all good, but being out in the elements, and dude, you know how it is every single year around here. The weather is a bit touch and go.
Yes.
With the Memorial Tournament because the weather is pretty annual.
I think normally it shapes up by the weekend. That's how I feel. I could be wrong about that. I feel like Thursday and Friday is more the hit or miss. My favorite day to go is Sunday. I know a lot of people would argue and say Wednesday is actually the best day to go because of the Pro-Am. But I like going on Sunday, so I was probably going to go on Sunday anyway. And the fact that our boss said that, hey, you guys can do the show there on Sunday and get paid and then still be there anyway. Like that's pretty exciting stuff for me. But before we get into anything else, I got to say, happy Mother's Day. If there's any mothers listening.
Yes.
And if you're a man who for some reason still is unaware that it's Mother's Day, get your stuff together.
All right. I don't think I'm putting you on the spot with this question.
Okay.
Perhaps I am. Maybe I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm genuinely interested in your answer. How do you handle it when you share a child with a mother on Mother's Day who...
All right.
When you have a different girlfriend.
For me, Mother's Day is it's a Mother's Day that I never thought that I would have to experience. So I have a girlfriend who's a mother. I have essentially a baby mama to, and then I have my own mother. So it's like...
Do you have a sister who's a mother?
And my sister, yes. But I just text her and say Happy Mother's Day. I've never gotten my sister a Mother's Day gift. But there's people out there that argue you should only be getting your Mother's Day gift if they're your mother. I don't agree with that, especially if you have a wife that doubles as the mother of your children. Like, yeah, that's a bad perspective.
Who says that? That's got to be single people.
Well, like Bo, for example, says that like he's not completely on that. Like he tries to help his kids out. Like he'll be like, hey, what are you guys thinking about getting your mother? And he'll like help them. But it's really them getting their mom a gift because that's their mother.
But is it more like because dad's the one who has an income? Is it like dad's the one who's getting the gift and we're pretending that it's from the kid? Because that's the thing. Me and my siblings, I'm 27 years old. The youngest is now, I guess, 20. Me and my siblings have never bought each other gifts for our birthdays. That's one of the few perks of being the oldest. Is that in my household, and we talked about this on Rothman and Ice this week, I feel like I grew up in a backwards household. I feel in most households, every kid grows at the age of the oldest. And that's why you have like a bunch of, like if you're the youngest kid, you're probably watching like adult TV shows at a younger age because it's on in the house.
You're just around. Yeah.
And so my household was the exact opposite. Everything in our household was at the pace of the youngest. So, like, while all my friends are starting to watch, like, Family Guy and, like, that kind of, like, more edgier television in, like, middle school, well, when I'm in 7th grade, I have a younger brother in kindergarten, and so we're not putting Family Guy on in a house where there's a kindergartner just walking through the living room.
Right.
So that wasn't happening. And so in my household, growing up, my brother still hasn't graduated college, so he still doesn't have an income. And so there was no expectation of any of the kids to buy each other gifts on their birthday, which I have never even like put it together until this conversation. It's like, out of all of the things that went at the pace of the youngest, that is the one that like really benefited me.
Right. It was a little bit different in my house because I have my older sister is 11 years older than me and 9 years older than my brother. So she's basically like more of our third parent than our sibling. That's the vibes of that. But me and my brother are only 2 years apart. And yeah, I feel like.
But, like, we didn't have income, so we didn't have to buy each other gifts.
Yes, like now.
My mom bought us all the gifts and just said, okay, this one's from Cole, this one's from Luke, this one's from Kara, one from Zach. And so that was, like, us going at the pace of the youngest was that there was never an expectation for us to buy gifts. And it also was not like, all right, Cole, you're in college, like, you have a college summer job, you're going to buy gifts, but, like, the other kids don't have to. It's like, no.
Do you buy gifts for your parents?
We did. We have started in the past handful of years. That's become a thing, and I'd say this year we put in. I thought I had a pretty good idea. Usually, I'm kind of just the one like Venmoing. Like someone else. We just talked about this last week.
Okay, so
you two are the guys who you plan the trip and you make everybody else Venmo you. I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I'm the guy, hey, you plan the trip and you get the Airbnb, you get that. I'll just shoot you just tell me how much I owe you.
So how you've been handling.
This year, I picked out the gift and I think it's pretty solid.
How you've been handling birthdays and Father's Day and Mother's Day is that basically it's just a group effort from everybody. And it's kind of an understanding of how the contributions were made.
Yeah, I mean,
so like you
collectively as kids, we all come up with one gift.
Yeah, so the siblings are more of the quote idea men, and then dad is actually forking up the funds for Mother's Day and vice versa.
No, this is our own money. At least this year.
But in the past, it was like dad was the funds, and you guys were like, hey, we picked this out.
Like make him a card.
Yes.
That is something that we did. This is now the negative side of like being held to the youngest standard in my household growing up, because I was in like high school and perhaps even college, like being expected to like write a card on like a Mother's Day or Father's Day or birthdays. It's like, why do you need me to like write it down on paper and like this is arts and crafts, like I'm in elementary school again? Like, no, like I'm driving. Why do you care if your son who's driving makes you a card and like folds it in half so you can like open it and like. And you also don't need me to buy you one. I think that's overrated. You know what else I think is overrated? You're going to agree with this. Sending thank you cards after birthday parties.
Oh, man. Is that a thing? I don't even know.
It was when I was a kid.
Oh, man.
Zeke, back in the day?
I didn't have any birthday parties.
No, I didn't either. But I have a kid that has birthday parties.
Jehovah's Witness?
No, not a Jehovah's Witness. I think I had one, but there was no way I was sending my friends. Thank you for coming to my party. They were stoked to come. They got free cake. What else do you want?
Yeah, my gosh.
And they didn't buy the gift.
I'm not gonna.
Hey, thanks for that gift that your mom bought. So it's really the parents who are writing letters to each other, but they're masquerading it as the kids writing it to each other.
I both credit and fault my mother for this, and I'm not going to put her on blast and call her cheap on the air.
On Mother's Day, no less.
But very frugal woman she is.
Okay.
Still. And I think a lot of times her thought process was, even though maybe we would have enjoyed a birthday party, her thought process was, why are we going to spend a couple $100s on a birthday party when we could just spend a couple $100s and take the kids somewhere? So that's why we never had birthday parties, because that was her logic of like, I'd rather take them on like a trip. Like she would take us to like when I was little and we lived in New York, she would take us to Dorney Park, which is like the Pennsylvania equivalent of Cedar Point. Like the branding's the same and everything.
Okay.
She would rather take us there or take us to like, our birthdays are in August, so they would take us to like the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Like she'd rather
Way
do that
better.
than throw us a birthday party.
Makes way more sense.
I've never really had a birthday party either.
Okay, so this is funny because a couple years ago, and I think I've told this story. This is a couple months ago I told the story, so it's going to be fresh to you, and you weren't here. I think Joshua was in here. There was a story I told, this was within the past couple of years, where my parents floated us the idea of, hey, how about we do a family trip this year? No Christmas presents, no birthday presents, no, nothing. Like, we're not, nobody in this family is getting each other gifts for anything the entire year, but let's do a big vacation. And I was like, sweet, that sounds like a lot of fun. And then I take 3 seconds to go, wait, did you mean together or like each of us get to pick our own destination? And then when it was like, no, like together, I'd be like, oh, yeah, we can keep the gifts this year.
Yeah.
Because I was on a couple of years of a hot streak of going on vacations with friends. Like we went to Madrid and Lisbon one year. The next,
what kind of friends did you have?
Ones that were feeling adventurous. A couple, like, they were going into law school.
You went to a Dublin high school, though, right? So you had.
I paid for it.
Oh, okay.
You think my parents paid for that?
Oh, okay.
This would have been 2022 and 2023, and we went to Dallas in 2023 to visit one of my friends who is from Dublin but moved down there. But yeah, like I like love the idea of like going on a vacation with my buddies. Haven't done it in a long time, but would love to.
I kind of hate that idea. But going back to the
idea
of going on a trip with friends, like. Besides, like, bachelor parties, I've never chosen to go on a trip with my friends.
Ooh.
Nah, I just wouldn't. But anyway, I think the Christmas I was like 10 or 11 years old, my mom is the one who makes all the decisions. My dad is just along for the ride. She decided that me and my brother were not good enough to get any Christmas gifts, and there was a Christmas where we got nothing.
I think that's actually good parenting. I think the threat, you can't do this thing. Well, I mean, you must have had to have been really bad.
I guess.
So if you were terrible, I'd say that's good parenting. If she was just looking for a reason to instigate you, then okay, maybe not.
I mean, I said about 2 minutes ago that she was a very frugal woman. I think that also had something to do with it. That was a part of her motivations, but then she just blamed it on our behavior.
You know, how old were you at this time?
Like 10 or 11.
Oh, good.
Man.
Yeah.
Actually,
maybe I would have been a little younger, but I hit harder.
There's something that I know about you and as it pertains to the holidays, and I'm starting to connect the dots and see how your childhood has bled into your adulthood. God love Gianna. Hey,
to quickly say what you're talking about.
Hold on.
We just don't. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone. We just
don't even use that word.
We don't invite Santa into our home. That's all. That's it. That's the easiest way to explain
Santa's not invited.
He's just not invited into our home. That's it.
I will say this, though, about Santa, because there are some kids out there who, like, every December they start to behave themselves, but Santa is watching the first 11 months of the year, too. Keep
none of that's going on in my household right now.
Yeah, keep that in mind, because I do think that the year that you didn't get any gifts, now, if you were bad the first 11 months of the year, and then all of a sudden in December, you're like, oh, you know, Santa's coming to town, I better start acting it. Well, hey, there are 11 other months of the year, so, you know, I'm a sample size guy. So keep the full sample size. Behave.
At that point of my childhood, Santa wasn't invited into our home either.
Okay. Well, Santa was invited into mine. And I got to be honest, some years he treated me better than he should have.
Right.
But I do think that, you know, December 25th every single year should be a representation of your behavior for the entire year and not just the 2 weeks leading up to it when you know that he's coming. So I hope that my household in the future will be a reflection of, hey, this is like your annual summary. All right. So look under the tree. Santa was watching you not just the past couple of weeks, not just when the elves arrived, but Santa's been watching you the entire year. And this is what he thinks of your behavior this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much against people using the Santa's coming, so behave better.
Remember that time that you skipped school in April? Yeah, he remembers too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it should be. Yeah, exactly. If I don't agree with using that, but if I was using that, I would be using it in August as well. I'd be like, Santa's watching right now.
Exactly.
If you're going to go all in on the Santa's watching, use it for 12 months of the year, not just 1 month of the year.
This has been a fun start to the show. Let's keep it going. We got a bunch of college football conversation this hour. Keep it here at 97.1 The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to speak up, or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
For 25 years, the Library of Congress Veterans History Project has collected and preserved the experiences of America's heroes. From original letters to oral histories, these first-hand accounts bring history to life, one voice at a time. With over 120,000 stories collected, each reveals the courage, sacrifice, and service of our veterans. But many remain untold. Help our nation reach 125,000. Share a story. Ensure a legacy. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to find a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greensons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Relax and let Kroger Delivery handle your grocery shopping this week. We start with only the freshest items, then carefully pack your order in our refrigerated trucks. And our cool trucks keep your food fresh right to your door. Fresh groceries your way with Kroger Delivery. And right now, you can save $20 on your first delivery order. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Recently, our company's softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later.
Sound familiar, Dale?
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Rain will clear out by this afternoon, and we will see some sunshine with a high of 67. Tonight is dry and partly cloudy with a low of 45. And Monday, we'll see increasing clouds by the afternoon with a high of 63. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Zeke, you got one or two brothers?
Two.
When Dylan mentioned bachelor trips in the last segment, I made the decision right then and there I was going to open this segment by asking Zeke what his game plan is in terms of the well, I guess not the bachelor trip, because that's something what the best man sets up, right?
Typically, yes.
Okay, so how are you guys with an odd number of brothers doing the whole who is whose best man?
So
by the way, isn't one of them already married?
One of them's already married.
Okay.
Were you his best man?
I was his best man.
Okay. So how'd the other brother feel about that?
He was okay with that. There's large age gaps between us. So my older brother and I are 7 years apart. My younger brother and I are 4 years apart. So from Jaden to Levi to 11 years. So it was pretty understood that I was probably going to be the best man for that one.
Yeah.
It was either me or my cousin probably would be the two that would be up for it. And then for my wedding, there will be no best man. Controversial.
So you ain't got no one standing up there on either side.
No one standing up there on either side. We've got no bridesmaids.
What in the Gen Z is this?
I like
groomsmen. It'll just be me and E.
Are you doing
standing up there?
What's the motivation for that?
Well, we're already doing a really small wedding. So our wedding's only going to be like 35, 40 people anyway. So I'm not inviting like my close friends.
So you're not inviting Dave and Scotty is what you're saying?
No, they're not going to be there. A lot of my close friends aren't going to be invited. They're invited to my bachelor trip. I would say 70% of the people that are invited. I'm also doing a conjoined bachelorette party, also probably controversial. Doing that conjoined. So there's 70% of our party is not going to be at the wedding. It's more of just like a family thing. Small wedding.
Okay. Is that just for cost cutting?
Heck yeah, it is.
No, that's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Spending money on more important stuff.
The joint bachelorette parties. We've talked about that a little bit. Ice and I have talked about that in the back in the offices. I think Rhyme Time said that he did that, but it was like half and half, where the day started as like the guys with the guys and the girls with the girls, and then they met up halfway through the day and then like spent the night together as one big party. So it wasn't really a trip, it sounds like, from his end. It sounds like it was more of just like keeping it local, but like doing stuff around here.
I mean, I'm not saying that this is the case for...
Have you been on a bachelor trip?
Reimer, and yes, I have. I'm not saying this is the case for Reimer and his bride, but I feel like that sometimes has to do with a trust issue thing, mainly with the bachelor party, where you don't want, any extracurricular activities happening after the night out.
Do you think that I got to imagine... Now, this is not necessarily the case, but just first instinct is that when you hear joint bachelorette parties, I automatically think it's the woman's idea.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Now,
exactly.
So, and that's not 100% of the time, but I'm just saying more than 50% of the time.
Yes.
So I'm just speaking generally here. We don't have time to take in every single possibility under consideration.
Girls can step out too.
We gotta speak generally, or else we can't speak at all. So. It's not 100%, but I imagine more than 50% that is the woman's idea. Now, a good radio host right now would ask Isaiah, whose idea was that?
I will not lie. This was my idea.
Okay.
Believe it or not, it was actually from the beginning my idea.
Why?
And I have reasoning for it.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
The reasoning that there is, and this isn't unique, E has a small friend group.
Okay.
She has a couple girls that she would go on a trip with.
Oh.
And she has a lot of her friends are intermingled with my friends' girlfriends. So our trip it's almost like a couple's trip. There's there's 3 other couples that are going. So our friend groups are already meshed together. And so it was like, well, do we just do 2 separate trips when we could just do like one big boat trip all together and everybody could be with their significant other and then nobody's going to be upset.
Okay, so that started out as it sounding like Isaiah being like, yeah, I'm just more popular than my fiance.
It did.
And then it turned into, hey, like all of my friends are dating all of her friends, so the numbers actually line up. It started like that was going to sound out, be like, dude, I got too many guys who want to come. Like the numbers aren't going to be even, but it actually works out, and that makes a lot of sense.
9 dudes, 6 girls is what it comes out to, and 3 of her friends are from college, and 3 of her friends are from my friends.
Those 3 extra dudes. Your entire bachelorette weekend is about to turn into like all eyes on those 3.
That'll be the best part.
Yeah, they'll be the start. Yeah, it's like, hey man, like what's taking you guys so long?
Did you say where you're going for this trip?
We're going to Indian Lake, and we've got an Airbnb there, and we're going to do a boat day Friday and then go out and whatnot over the course of the week.
Isaiah's big into the Airbnbs. He did the Airbnbs in Alabama for the big Staying in my boots trip.
I do like the Airbnbs.
Did you go in a group to Alabama for Santa?
I did.
Okay,
yes.
I think Airbnb, that's the move once you have more than like 3 people.
And I'll raise you one more. My wedding, also had an Airbnb.
Oh,
huge Airbnb
great.
guy.
That's right.
Get him a endorsement.
Yeah.
Salespeople, if you're listening right 100%.
Now. I sent an email to, because I forget who told me. I think Reeser told me to do this, like within the past 8 months or whatever. Was like, hey man, like email like a profile to the sales team so they can pitch you. So like they know what your interests are, they know what you're doing, they know what you're about. Isaiah should just say, hey man, like if the Airbnb, I don't know, is it like just an Airbnb company? Is like the company itself just called Airbnb, or is it like there are multiple companies that have?
Like, do you use Vrbo too, or are you strictly an Airbnb?
I didn't even know how to ask the question. That's how.
I also use Vrbo. I've used both. A little bit of Airbnb, a little bit of Vrbo, but I can say that I only use one.
Because again, I'm the guy who lets everybody else plan the trip. Just like, hey, just how much do I have to Venmo you, man? It's all good.
He doesn't even know what a Vrbo is. Isaiah.
No, hey, VR. I've seen the commercials. VRBO.
That's the one with the Nick Saban, where he's sitting in the pool and he's laying down all these rules for his guests to use. That's Vrbo.
But I will say, going back to the joint bachelorette trip, one of my friends was not able to go because his significant other didn't want him to go on the joint bachelorette trip because there would be other women in the house.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because that circled me back to the thought that I had and then forgot. So the pie chart. I imagine most women come up with the, not all, but I imagine most of the time it's the woman who comes up with that idea. Now, of that portion of the women who say that, do you think they are worried about their significant other or their significant other's friends?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
Of the women who want the joint bachelorette party, they are worried about their fiance and perhaps more importantly sometimes their fiance's friends.
They're worried about the peer pressure and their inability to navigate it. Yes.
I hang my hat on that. I can send. I'm not saying I've never given into peer pressure. I'm really good at not giving into peer pressure. I'm not batting 1,000 in my lifetime, but I can get stubborn and dig my heels in and now it becomes a competition. Like, oh, you think I'm just going to like give in easily? No. And so like the stubbornness kind of kicks in at some point.
In my friend group, and I would say I'm more in your boat, but my friend group, and especially in high school, all you had to say to someone was no balls, and the peer pressure just automatically, they just did whatever you wanted them to do after you said that phrase. That was it. That was the end of it. I was like, you guys are so weak-minded.
Sometimes it is that simple. All right, well, hey, man, we're trying to, kick the can down the road a little bit on this because you and I have been labeled as very negative hosts, and there's a very negative topic, newsy topic. We're not going out of our way for it, but college football has got a lot of issues, many of them, and they are coming to a head this week. So we'll talk about that next in 2 minutes. Keep it here on 97.1 The Fan.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Welcome to Hollywood Casino.
What can I get you?
How you doing, Columbus? The same Hollywood you know, with a new hotel to love. Hollywood Casino and Hotel Columbus, coming June 2026. Book now. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
May the savings be with you at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Elantra SE for $59 per month for 2 years. Just $59 a month for the May mega sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, first month payment, 7,500 miles per year, and 6-1.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Sports talk. Yeah, we'll get to talk about sports at some point. But not to drag out this topic any longer than it needs to. But just for the record, Jacob Reimer does say ours was a joint bachelorette party because our friends are intermingled. That does make sense. If you're just in the friend group, why not? Like, why does it have to be exclusive? You're gonna be hanging out with them anyway. So that makes sense. I guess that would only be like, that would only feel forced if you're like, yeah, our friends, like, we kind of have the guys' friends and the girls' friends. But if you're like in the friend group, like, for example, if you went to the same high school or something like that,
right?
Like I got a buddy who's dating a girl who I went to high school with, and it's like already it's like dating within the friend group. At that point, like, you're already all getting together all the time anyway, so why not?
That, I mean, yeah, that is like a whole nother thing where it's like, I've never really been in a friend group that everyone was dating each other, for the lack of a better term, and it's like, ugh. that sounds like a lot of drama waiting to happen.
It can be. Join us on YouTube, 97.1 The Fan, Ohio Sports Destination. Morris says, Cole, I agree with you. Hold on. I agree completely with you on this stuff. Could have just stopped there, but that's fine. He said, I think it boils down to the wife and the mom. My wife is definitely a sucker for a handwritten card or something that is more thoughtful. Yeah. You do not. Okay. Handwritten cards are thrown together. You don't need to be putting together a handwritten card, but hey, if that's what they ask for, then, Mother's Day is their day.
You know what, Cole? You've said so many stupid things on this show pertaining to moms that I want to book your mom as a guest on our show and see her thoughts on first birthday parties and Mother's Day gifts and gifts for mom in general. I would love to get Mrs. Bartimus's thoughts on all this stuff that you say.
Well, you are the only one. You are the only one in this studio who wants to book my mom as a guest on the show.
Isaiah, make it happen.
I'll work on that for next Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. I can officiate weddings. Thank you, Rusty. Okay. All right. So we've gone through that. So college football. All right. You and I have been labeled as very negative radio hosts by a YouTube commenter before. And now,
realistic.
I will bear the brunt of that, because I opened up the floodgates on a couple of radio shows ago and just took a blowtorch to the spring game, and not just Ohio State spring game, but just the whole dog and pony show of spring games nowadays in general. It's like, this is like super protective. Doesn't even look like football. You turn it on your TV and you're like, what the hell is this?
By the way, there's only like 5 cities in the country that give a damn about spring games.
Yeah.
So, and this happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
So this is probably one place that you shouldn't have had that take, but I feel like generally people would agree with you.
Yeah, and so there were some people who were ready to like Buckeye out that day, and I was like, and they wanted some like spicy takes, and I actually had some like notes written down about how Kenyatta Jackson and Bo Atkinson looked great, and they never eventually got to it because I was too busy just essing on the spring game itself. But we got to be a little bit negative about college football because this week it's been very much in the news that the 24-team playoff format is being lobbied for heavily. And now, it's currently 12 teams. We knew that. It was 12. There was all this negotiation about 16 and 24 and 16 and 24. No agreement was made, so that just kicked that can down the road one more step. So it's going to be a 12-team college football playoff this year. The SEC, known to be wanting a 16-team playoff. The Big Ten, known to be wanting a 24-team playoff. And apparently it's just who cares for everybody else, but whatever. But the American Football Coaches Association, the AFCA as it were, they put together a proposal this past week where they are lobbying for changes such as a 24-team playoff, such as the abolition of conference championship games. And it seems inevitable to me that whether the expansion gets to 24 now or later, it's coming. And I floated this question to Rothman and Ice earlier this week. I said, we know the expansion is coming. They're just figuring out if it's going to be 16 or 24. But once it expands, how many years is it going to be till it expands again? Because the BCS had a 15-year run. Or 16-year run, actually. The BCS had a 16-year run. The 4-team playoff had a 10-year run. We're entering year 3 of the 12-team format. We already don't like that one, and we're figuring out if it's going to be 16 or 24. Like, is there a final destination to any of this, or is it all just going to be, hey, more games equals more money, so let's just play as many games as possible?
See, this is what I'm worried about, and I don't think that, like, I think the extremists out there are like, this is the beginning of the end of college football. Like, I don't think college football is ever going to quote-unquote end per se, but it's just starting to look a lot more like the NFL, and we already have the NFL, so it's like, why do we need another version of the NFL where it's like, I don't want to say the regular season doesn't matter in the NFL, but you have 14 of 32 teams that make it. That's almost half the league that makes it, and that's how most pro organizations are, and that's why you equate it to the NFL, because it's like college football, for me, the beauty of it was like the any given Saturday type of thing, where it's like if 4-win UConn knocks off Clemson towards the end of the season and they were undefeated, like, man, that just ruined their season. And even though they were one of the better teams all year, like, you slip up on one Saturday and that's it for you. Like, yeah. People like now that, like, for example, people here, they like how the fact that when Ohio State last won the national championship, they were the 8th seed or whatever, but they felt like they were still the most talented team in the country. So there's a lot of people that feel like it was justified that they were able to make it and win it. But I also think there's something to say of having complete focus every single Saturday, making sure you're locked in, making sure you're not losing to a Michigan team that you're better than, making sure that you do go on the road to Oregon and you get that win. Like, there was beauty in that for me, that it was like, you won all your big matchups and you didn't slip up against a team that you're better than, and now you're the national champion. Now it's like, even if you do slip up on one Saturday or 2 Saturdays or 3 Saturdays, or hell, maybe even 4 Saturdays, now that it's a 24-team playoff, you could still win the national championship. And it's like a matter of, do we want the best team to win the national championship, or do we want the team with the best season from week 1 to national championship week to win the national championship? And for me, it's the latter.
Yeah, dude, the stakes used to be so high in this sport. It made it tremendous. And I love how tons of sports leagues have their own different way of doing things. And now it's a shame that the NFL, the NBA, the NBA are all kind of starting to look a little bit similar because the NFL expanded from 6 teams per conference to 7 teams per conference. I assume that's going to turn into 8 teams per conference at some point. And then the NBA actually they broke off of the standard because, NBA and NHL kind of had their same formats. But then now NBA is on the play-in thing, which I don't even recognize, but, whatever. But I liked the uniqueness of every single league kind of looking different, having their own thing, having their own style. Because if we just invented a sport and we created a professional sports league for fan ball, like whatever sport that we're just inventing, there are so many different ways that you can construct a league. And we could be debating, hey, what do we want our playoff format to look like? What do we want the qualification for the playoff to look like? There are so many different ways to go about it. And I liked that different sports gave you different perspectives on how to go about things. You got some sports with no salary cap, like baseball. You got some sports with a soft cap, like basketball, with the hard cap, like football. Like, there are so many different ways to run a sport. And I always thought that it was super fascinating that every sport operated differently. And college football was the one where the stakes were the highest and there was no room for error.
Right.
It used to be really special and really important, the race for number 1.
Yeah.
And now you have the people who are carrying the water for college football, like Joel Klatt, saying, this playoff expansion is great because now there are more fan bases who are more involved later in the season and aren't just giving up on their championship hopes in week 3. And that to me is just from as it pertains to your favorite team, sure. But just if we're talking about college football as a whole, it's not the same when everybody gets 2 or 3 mulligans.
I think it's tough because we're here in Columbus, Ohio, and we see things through scarlet and gray colored glasses, whether we want to admit it or not. And we're a spoiled fan base. They're in it almost every year. But I do want to try to understand the Iowas of the world, where they're finishing 9-3, and maybe they think they're playing their best football at the end of the year, and they think that they have a shot to make maybe not a run and win the national championship, but maybe rattle off a couple of playoff wins. Like, I understand why a fan base like that is for this.
You're reading my mind. You're reading my mind behind the glass.
No, it's
unbelievable. You even used Iowa. I was sitting here thinking, it's unbelievable. I bet there's radio stations in Iowa right now that are taking phone calls saying we might be able to make the college football playoff this year because we always finish 20th. Which, if that's what you finish, that's what you finish. Iowa fans are used to that. Is it right or wrong? But that's their reality. But here in Columbus, we are spoiled. We're one of the elites. I'm sure there's fan bases across the country that are like, I'd like to be involved. I'd like to play.
No, see, this is not what college football was supposed to be. I don't want this sport to turn into that sport where it's all about who gets hot at the right time, where we have so many games and you can only play your best football so many times. And so it's about who's playing their best football at the most convenient time on the calendar. That's not what I want this to be about.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot or get a hot take out of you, but do you think Ohio State 2 years ago was a deserving national champion then?
I have to say yes because the games were played and they won the games. However, and I'll be consistent about this, all right? My Notre Dame Fighting Irish, when they lost to Northern Illinois, I 100% did not think we deserved to even have a shot at a national championship. Now, I did come into work the very next Monday and said to Bodie Wells, we're still making the playoffs, right? And I was right about that. I will 100% hand on a Bible say I was saying in real time Notre Dame didn't deserve that shot. And that's why I'm not even saying like their playoff resume in a 12-team format. I'm just saying the format should not the format should not have existed for them to have gotten a mulligan after a defeat that bad. Now, do they have one of the 12 best resumes in my opinion? Yes. But I don't think the format should have existed to have forgiven them for such an error. And I feel the same way about Ohio State in their gigantic collapse against Michigan. Now, the games were played. Ohio State and Notre Dame made it to the championship. So, yes, They are justified in being 1 and 2 at the end of the year, but the format should not have existed for Ohio State and Notre Dame to even make it to that point. So here's the big question, and we're all going to have different answers, and we're probably going to roll this over into a second segment because I'm so excited about this topic. Let's try to answer this question. How did we get here? We'll talk about it next. 97.1 The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
As the saying goes, trust is earned, never given. When it comes to your roof, who you trust truly matters. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a business. We're a local, family-owned company built on honesty, integrity, and hard work. From the very beginning, these core values have shaped the way we do business, ensuring a customer experience that's second to none. Our dedication to quality has earned us the trust of thousands of homeowners across Central Ohio. At Newman Roofing, excellence isn't just a word, it's our promise to you. From the moment we step foot on your doorstep to the final handshake, we strive to deliver an experience that keeps you calling back for more. Whether you need a roof repair or a full replacement, our team at Newman Roofing is here to protect what matters most. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. So give us a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Get Eco.
Aaron, who taught you about business?
My mom.
Huh, really?
Yes, really.
What business was she in?
She was in the business of raising 3 kids by herself.
Single mom. That explains a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, it explains why you do an additional $500 worth of repairs for free when people have to buy a new hot water heater.
If someone had done that for Mom, she would have thought they were an angel sent from heaven.
Get Eco.
And it explains why you give people credit for all the money they spent with us for HVAC repairs when they need to buy a new system.
Yeah.
And it explains why you were such a maniac about finding a good toilet that we could sell fully installed for just $650.
Maniac?
You were a maniac, Aaron.
Get Eco.
We've got plumbers, we've got electricians, and we've got HVAC technicians. And every one of them has a mom.
I love you, Mom.
GetEco.com.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns May 14th through 17th with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown. Plus, Pierce the Veil, Good Charlotte, Sublime, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, and so many more. Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, May 14th to 17th. Passes on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Catch Ohio State baseball all season long on The Fan 2. You can find the magical land of The Fan 2 by tuning into 1460 on your AM dial or clicking on The Fan's HD2 feed. Tyler Danberg thanks you. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything, and he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
We didn't even know how good we had it. And I know that everybody is partial to what life was like in their childhood.
Yes, this is just you getting older, Cole. Plus, the human nature that we as a human race do not like change.
That's all true. However, I still think it is almost indisputable that my childhood of college football was the best college football that we've ever had and will ever have.
Are you like Tyvus who thinks that college football started with the BCS era and then that's when it was the best?
Well, that's when my life was, so I'm going to say yes. Everything that happened before it. Yeah, because so the AP poll, actually, that's how you had these split championships.
Right.
It's because you had the AP poll and the coaches poll, which the coaches poll has got to be the most biased thing ever.
Right.
So forget that. But usually the AP poll and the coaches poll lined up, and that's how you had a champion. But then you'd have some years where you had the AP poll had one champion at the end of the year. The coaches poll would have another champion, and then you have a shared championship. But you didn't have a championship game. So that's what the BCS really ensured, is that you'd have a championship game.
Right, and it was played on the field. You felt like it was the two best teams playing each other for the championship instead of the best team being an opinion based off of the seasons that were had.
Exactly. And so that is what that kind of ensured, is that there was no disputing it. However, then there was the issue of, well, we don't know. We don't know if we agree with the formulas that all the computers are running. And so that's why, I was talking to Rothman about this, because I pinpointed a particular football game that led us to where we are right now.
Really?
I think there is one football game that Tyvus Powell and Joshua Perry both played in. I mean, it wasn't their fault, but they both played in the game. In fact, it involves my team too. The Ohio State Notre Dame Fiesta Bowl.
Interesting. What year was that?
Do you know where I'm going with this? New Year's Day 2016.
Okay.
Do you know where I'm going with this, Isaiah? No. Okay. Jalen Smith blowing out his knee and destroying his draft stock by about 40 selections, I think did irreparable damage and really did a number in getting us to where we are now. Because what that did is it influenced Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette the very next season to sit out of their bowl games. And then once they did it, and we had a bunch of not exactly Nostradamuses claiming that who's going to want to draft them? They quit on their team. Well, Leonard Fournette went fourth, Christian McCaffrey went eighth, and Christian McCaffrey might still be the best running back in the NFL.
Right.
So guess what? They can play football. It's not going to hurt them.
Right.
And you can also sell to an NFL team, hey, I turned on my own team to prioritize you, so I care about you. But once players started sitting out of bowl games, that is where the New Year's Six Bowls really lost a lot of its luster. And so you have the championship game. I guess that was in the playoff era. So you'd have the 4-team playoff, and then your really good draft picks would sit out of the New Year's Six games, which that turned into basically any draft picks are sitting out of the New Year's Six game, unless now they're taking like insurance policies, which I don't have the first clue how that works, but I know that Shedeur Sanders was involved with that and Travis Hunter. Cam Ward may have had an insurance policy for the first half that he played just to set some bogus record and then sit for the second half. I don't even know. but I contend that Jalen Smith's injury, when he created nerve damage in his knee in the Fiesta Bowl on New Year's Day 2016, Ohio State, Notre Dame, that I don't have to contend this. It's just true. That started sitting out of bowl games. Then I contend that sitting out of bowl games is what made people think that we need to expand the playoffs. Not because we need 12 teams, but because we had this great holiday season of the bowl tradition. We got really good games here with the college football playoffs. We got the really good 4 teams and everybody's playing. It's all great. And then we had other good football games that were worth watching, but now those aren't even worth watching. And so that's where I think the 12-team playoff came about is, hey, we had the 12 teams in the New Year's 6 bowls, but 8 of those teams were punting on the games. And so the only way to get them to not punt on those games is to put those 8 teams in the playoffs. I contend that it starts right then and there. Rothman actually disagrees. He thinks that it all started when we went from BCS to the college football playoffs, when we got rid of computers and put in human bias.
Yes. I think now that you're saying what you're saying, I think the perspective of people on this topic has to do with how old you are, because I think it happened before what you said, but after what Rothman said. I know we have to go to break, so we can get to that on the other side.
Okay. Well, we got a couple more minutes. But Rothman's point had something to do with going from the transition of the BCS to the college football playoffs. And not just that, because that expanded us from 2 to 4.
Right.
But he specifically cited the fact that we got rid of the computers, which now you have people arguing in favor of. Joel Klatt saying that, well, human beings are only focusing on 2 or 3 things. Why not put it back into a computer system where they can take thousands of inputs and mathematically determine who the best teams are?
I'm all about bringing the BCS back. Honestly, I said a year ago on this show, I would not. It's not happening. You can't go back. I did not feel the need for any playoff expansion. To be honest, I feel like more years than not, the 2 teams that were in the championship game were the 2 best teams in the country. You had a couple of years like USC the year before they won the national championship, and then you had like Auburn in that era as well. Auburn when they were 3rd in the country and undefeated with like Jason Campbell and Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown and them. There's like outlier years, but for the most part, I feel like the BCS era had it right.
All right, we have a lot more to say on this, and conference realignment also has a huge variable in this. We'll talk about that. Roll next. Stick around. 97.1 The Fan.
The Big 9 was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Common Man and Timmy here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Oh, Timmy, it's getting closer.
What is?
The grand opening of the new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel.
Oh, that's right. The grand opening celebration is coming up on June 12th. Bret Michaels will be there.
And there's going to be fireworks and food trucks and swag and a chance to win a motorcycle.
Motorcycle? Shit. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Plus, on select Wednesdays and Saturdays, it's the $1,000 Win Your Way drawings.
Must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up.
Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much left because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part? Knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Yesterday in NBA action, the Cavaliers got a win against the Pistons 116-109. The Cavs gave up a 17-point lead in the third and trailed for parts of the fourth, but were able to hold on and get the win late. Head coach of the Cavs, Kenny Atkinson, spoke on his team's resilience.
We know how important it is to get this first win to make it a series. Dude, I felt like that third quarter, we had great looks. The ball wasn't falling. And I think that's how they got in the game. I wish our defense would have been better, but I'm like, man, you know, that's the spirit of this team, right? We don't get down. We're not like, oh, man, they came back. It's like it's a veteran team. They kind of know that's how this goes.
The Cavs still trail the Pistons 2-1 in the series. Game 4 is tomorrow at 8. Today in baseball, both Ohio teams suiting up at 1:40 as the Guardians play the Twins and the Reds have the Astros. Coverage begins right here on the Fan for the Reds at 1:10.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, in the event that I pass out, you can just keep going with the segment. Just talk to Zeke. I got weirdly lightheaded for a quick second at the end of that segment, but we're all good.
You got like an emergency contact in like your wallet or something, or nah?
Nah, just the three numbers.
All right, we'll just call 911.
Yeah, well,
or we could try to call your mom and ask her the questions that I wanted to ask her earlier.
Yeah,
and then say, oh,
hey,
by the way,
while you're here,
yes.
While we got you, we got some other questions. What was Cole's first birthday party like?
Yes, what was it like? Did he enjoy it?
I'm sure I did. Look, man. Is angst nature or nurture?
Angst.
Are you born with it, or you kind of develop? Does the world harden you? And by you, I mean me.
Is angst nature or nurture? I'm trying to. You know what? I know what angst means, but I want to know what like the dictionary definition is.
Yeah.
A feeling of deep anxiety or dread, typically an unfocused one about the human condition or the state of the world in general.
Huh. All right. Well, that feels like a little bit loaded for what but also kind of true. Definitely for college football.
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of like your environment that you were. But see, the thing, my parents are. I feel like I have a lot of angst, but my parents don't. So maybe it is more of a natural thing.
I think that like being in radio, it like this is the place to be angsty.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like a chicken or the egg type thing.
Yeah. Anyway, had a brief moment at the end of that segment, but I'm all good now, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, just talk to Zeke. All right. So we detailed in the last segment that I specifically cited January 1st, 2016, Ohio State Notre Dame Fiesta Bowl. That to me was a turning point in terms of just trying to answer the question, how did we get here in college football, where we had the system that we liked. Well, let's use the term liked a little bit loosely because I think the BCS was pretty unpopular. But generally, we didn't like look at college football and go, what are we doing? Like the way we're acting now. So made a couple of tweaks with the college football playoff, turning it into a 14 playoff. I think that was pretty popular. But then how do we get into this world where we're expanding to 12? And then the second we expand to 12, that was signed on a 2-year contract, which now is getting added a third year. So next year is also going to be a 12-team playoff. But expanding from 4 to 12 was always about moving to something greater than that, just not really knowing what that destination was. And then, God, my fear is it going to turn into even greater than what the next expansion is going to be? And so I cited the Fiesta Bowl where Jalen Smith gets hurt. He goes from being a top 10 draft pick to a middle of the second round draft pick because he's now got nerve damage in his knee. Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette don't want to play in the bowl game the next year because they're both were going to be and were top 10 draft picks. And then sitting out of bowl games made college football executives realize that the solution in terms of preserving the New Year's Six and trying to get people to play, the only way to get them to play in big games is to put those big games into the playoffs. So that's what I identified.
You blame watering down of bowl games, essentially. The reason why the powers that be decided that more bowl games needed to matter in regards to the ultimate result of who is the national champion.
Yes, those bowl games did matter. Even though they weren't championship games, those bowl games were significant games.
The perception changed at that point.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's really all.
Yes.
That's really all any sport is. Like, you think about that with, like, tennis, how, like, there are tennis tournaments going on every single week, but we only care about 4 of them. Why? Because people told us to care about 4 of them.
Right.
Like, you can kind of just declare that.
Yes.
Hey, these games matter, so take them more seriously.
So I agree with Rothman in the fact that probably the most significant event that got us here was the expansion of 2 teams essentially in contention for the national championship at the end of the year to 4, which was the end of the BCS and the beginning of the CFP era. But I think the ball started rolling way before that.
Okay.
And I think part of the reason why we're here is because of conference realignment.
Excellent.
And so for me, and this might just be like an age thing, but for me, conference realignment, the way it's orchestrated now, the way that conference realignment works now, I believe that started in 2010 when Nebraska and Colorado left the Big 12. Nebraska went to the Big 10 and Colorado went to the Pac-12. Colorado's now back in the Big 12, but that's besides the point. Because then you get the ball rolling. The next year after that, I believe, is when the Big East kind of no longer becomes a
The next
conference.
year, West Virginia goes to the Big 12.
And then actually, no, I think...
And then 2 years later...
Actually, the next year after Nebraska and Colorado leave, that's when Missouri and A&M go to the SEC. And then that's when the Big East dies. And then it just becomes this role of, like, conference realignment where it's like the conferences, it was not about tradition anymore. It wasn't about geographical sense. It was about just power and getting the best teams into each conference. And then at that point, I feel like that's when there's always politics in any sport, but that's when I felt like it was okay, where's the power everywhere? And that's when it moved to it being the Big Ten and the SEC. And I really feel like part of what the CFP brought was like, we now have more bites at the apple of being the national champion. If there's years that we can get more than one team into this playoff, which both conferences did multiple times. And so at that point, it's like it became a college football, and it's kind of like this now. It's more about like who are the better teams in the Big Ten and the SEC, and that's kind of who's going to win the national championship. Whereas before all this happened, like you had years where the Big 12 was a huge contender to win the national championship, and the old Pac-12 was, they had contenders to win the national championship. And now it feels like it's more about, even with the expansion, like this past year was about, oh, why isn't Vanderbilt and Texas in? They're playing this tough SEC schedule.
Well,
like
that's something that harkens all the way back to the BCS, because in fact, that's why a lot of people thought that the approval rating for the 4-team college football playoff was so high, and not just the 4-team playoff, but expanding it from 2 to 4, but specifically getting rid of the BCS and going toward the human eye test is because of Boise State, TCU, and Utah.
Right.
Those 3 schools had we're tugging on everybody's heartstrings for whatever reason. Well, actually, because a couple of them were winning BCS bowl games.
Right.
And then, in the 14 playoff, then it was UCF. UCF beats Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, and it's like, okay, shoot, maybe they just beat one of the best SEC teams all year, because that Auburn team was number 2 in the country very late in the season. Yeah. I think that Auburn team who lost the SEC championship that year, but went into the SEC championship game ranked second in the country and then lost their bowl game to UCF.
You see, here's the thing. It's like when
it is the preferential treatment of the underdogs that we can kind of. Yeah, we're over that though.
When it comes, those are good points that you brought up with Boise and Utah, and I forget the
TCU.
TCU that you brought up back in the day was like the TCU teams led by like Andy Dalton, and then the Boise State teams with like Kellen Moore. Like those are teams that people are like, I wonder if they had a shot at the national championship. Would they have competed? And it was the same with a couple teams that I brought up in the last break with the Auburn team that finished third and undefeated and didn't have a shot at the national championship, or the USC team, I think it was the year before or 2 years before that, they finished with one loss, and there were a couple of one-loss teams in the national championship, and they didn't get a shot at it just because they were placed third in the poll and not one or two. But the problem with that is never going to get solved no matter how many teams you add. If it's a 2-team BCS thing, the third team's going to be pissed. If it's a 4-team, the 5th team's going to be pissed, and so on and so forth. It's never going to end. It doesn't matter how many. The bubble is always going to be frustrated no matter how big the playoff is, so stop expanding it.
Yeah, and that's something I heard on this radio station, in fact, when they expanded to 12 teams. Is like, sweet, we don't have to complain anymore about somebody getting left out. It's like, actually, if you view it on a bell curve, the closer you get to the middle, the more examples you have, meaning that the more that you expand the playoffs, the more teams that there are who are going to look very, very similar, and more teams are going to be arguing, and in some cases justifiably, that they should have been in the playoffs. So the more you expand towards the middle, the more teams that you're going to find, the more teams that there are going to be complaining. Right. So you're absolutely correct.
But to kind of play devil's advocate against myself, you saw Miami in the national championship, and they easily could have won it. You saw Ohio State win the national championship with any previous format. They wouldn't have even been considered a contender for the national championship
That's
at
on
the
them,
end of the year.
in my opinion.
So it's like, is it justified that Miami and Ohio State and Notre Dame made the national championships in this new format?
Yes.
Or is it not? I really don't know the answer.
But it's also the way that college football is aligned now. College football isn't the same as it was in 2010. Like in 2010 and all those years, think about the top elite teams. Like think about Ohio State in 2014. Like think about the wide receiver room. That's not how it is anymore. Transfers are a thing now. Like the dominant teams at the top, there's not as much of a margin as there used to be. So like 2 BCS teams, if we went back to the BCS model, yes, the top 2 teams would be there. But realistically, how it was in 2012, there was way more discrepancy between the top teams and the 10th ranked team than there is now, because there's not as deep of teams anymore. Like you don't have Michael Thomas sitting on the bench for 2 years before he gets to play. You don't have Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, JSN all in the same room. Like that's not how it is anymore.
Like I wonder if you give Buckeye fans truth serum, if they feel like Indiana, Ohio State, they should have ran it back for the national championship. That would have been the right thing to do, because that's what would have happened in the BCS era.
No,
but that's what we would have had. So the people
who ended up being number 2.
The people to start the playoff.
Yeah,
it was Ohio State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they just flipped.
Yeah. So it was like, it's like, where do you end it? And that's why, like, I feel like some people they would retort with that, like, no, 4 is the right answer. But then there's people that think 8's the right answer. 12's the right answer. And then you have people who aren't fans. But
I don't hear anybody going 16 and 24.
Yes.
In fact, I have never heard that.
Yeah.
I have never heard from anybody ask for 16 or 24 teams.
And I feel like I contradicted myself a bunch of times in that break.
Maybe I did too.
But it's like, I don't know, because it's like, I go back to what I said earlier in the show. It's like, is it about, do you want to see the 2 most talented teams play in the national championship, quote unquote, or do you want to see the 2 teams that navigated the regular season the best? I don't know the answer to that.
Again, the more that you expand, the more games that you play, the more that you increase the sample size, the more that it turns into who gets hot at the right time.
Yes. You get the 2007, 2011 New York Giants are going to win more national championships now.
Yeah, think about it. Major League Baseball, it's an open secret. Like, teams go on runs. Like, if you play 162 games, you're not going to be playing consistently across. That's 6 months, dude. And so you can't. And so you're going to have your hot stretches and cold stretches. It's just going to happen when you have that large of a sample. And so That's why in Major League Baseball, you have a situation where that turns into who's hot at the right time. Obviously, you have to be really good to even be involved in that. But, yeah, it is about who's playing the best at the right time. I don't want college football to turn into that. I hope to eloquently explain, even further explain, as we've already kind of started to scratch the surface on the conference realignment issue. And there are a lot of other issues. Which ones actually matter and which ones don't? We'll talk about those next. Stick around, 97.1 The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on select varieties of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Gatorade, and more. Select packs are buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Jack Nicklaus's unrivaled vision. World-class competition. Yes. Golf's greats honor. Impactful charitable giving. Loyal fans and volunteers. An iconic history defined by one handshake on the 18th green. June 1st through 7th. Buy your tickets to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Visit memorialtickets.com.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case and I couldn't hire us, there are only about 3 to 4% of the lawyers out there that I would hire. And here's why. Most of them rarely, if ever, go to trial. They just take the last best offer. Hell, you can do that yourself. Do this. If you're looking for a lawyer, Google Morgan & Morgan results and see what comes up. It may shock you. Then Google the firm you're thinking of hiring and do the same. That may shock you as well. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. $30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan. Or thepeople.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Good news. Jack has personally invited the Fan to the Memorial Tournament, and we're broadcasting 30 hours of live content, and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Hi, I'm Katherine McPhee. Animals have always had my heart, and that is why I'm a proud supporter of American Humane Society. Over the years, I have filled my home with rescue pets. I adopted my sweet Wilma as a senior dog. Some of my most cherished memories are with her. American Humane Society has been protecting animals for 150 years. Your support can save lives. Join us in helping animals in need at AmericanHumane.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Rain will clear out by this afternoon, and we will see some sunshine with a high of 67. Tonight is dry and partly cloudy with a low of 45. And Monday, we'll see increasing clouds by the afternoon with a high of 63. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, so I thought that the expansion from the BCS to a 4-team playoff made enough sense because of examples that you've already given. Because when you had at that, I guess that the transition would have been about the time that the Big East was crumbling. So we'll say it's a Power 5.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it could have been a Power 6.
Yeah.
In the late 2000s for sure. But mid 2010s, Power 5, you can absolutely have a situation where you have, and some may argue it did happen, where you even had too many good teams for just a 4-team playoff. Now, usually it would work out where, one conference would kind of be lacking a little bit, and so you could fill up a 4-team playoff with 4, maybe even just 3 conferences. But I thought that it did make a lot of sense to expand from 2 to 4, just so that way, if you have multiple kings across multiple conferences, because, mind you, this was a period of time where the geography of college football actually made sense. And so it made a lot of sense to me to structure the sport based on, and this is at a time also where conference championships mattered, and now they don't, and now they're talking about getting rid of those, and we can talk about that in a little bit too. But the sport used to be structured in a way geographically where there are 130 some odd teams and you got 12 games on your schedule. Okay. And so, like, how in the world do you figure that out? Well, you had conferences there were more conferences that had fewer teams. And so everybody was able to set it up where you could play your entire conference. So everybody in the conference would play each other pretty much.
Right.
Maybe there'd be a couple exceptions
for the
where
most part.
you'd miss 1 or 2 teams, but you could play the majority of your conference. And so everybody's basically playing everybody. And so that sets up your conference championship. And so from that point, you spent your entire regular season playing your conference. You have played a conference championship game. And so that puts you in a position where, all right, we played a lot of games. We know who number 1 is, at least in our conference. And then once you get through conference championship weekend, that whittles it down to like 5 or 6. And so you basically, it's almost like the imperialism where you kind of like, you conquer your region. So you become the best team in your state and all your neighboring states. And then from there, now it's like, okay, now how do we like try to dominate the country?
Right.
And so that's at a point in time back in the day where, and people, kind of wax poetic about like the Rose Bowl and stuff like that. And how back in the day, and it did matter a lot because back in the day, you had guys actually play in that game. So it did matter. But a lot of stuff in life and also just in sports too, it's kind of like NFTs. It's like they only matter as much as people care about them.
Right.
And then when do they stop mattering? When people just decide to stop caring about it. Yeah. And so when guys are sitting out of bowl games, now all of a sudden the Rose Bowl doesn't matter because we know we're getting a hollow version of what the game actually would have been. And, I never really bought that and this is a theory, and you guys jump in if you agree or disagree with this, but like this was a widespread theory that expanding the playoffs from 2 to 4 was the big killer of the BCS Bowls and the New Year's Six, where it's like, oh man, now we really know that we're not a playoff team, and but no, I thought that it was the injuries, it was the prevention, it was the fact that you weren't playing for a championship, but that didn't stop people from playing in the 2000s or any time before that.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a mindset that was already starting to occur, and then that was kind of like a reaction to it. But like going back to what you said a couple minutes ago, the first year of the 14 playoff really kind of illustrates both sides of the argument, where it's like you had Bama, Oregon, Florida State, Ohio State, right? So you had those are four totally different conferences. They make the playoff, but then you had the controversy of, well, the Big 12 champion didn't get in. And it was TCU and Baylor that was ranked above Ohio State the whole time. I'm pretty sure Ohio State went into that game. They were ranked into the 59-0 Big Ten championship game. I believe they were 6th in the country, and they needed to jump over both Baylor and TCU, who at that time to get in the weeds. Yes, they didn't have a conference championship, and the Big 12 commissioner did not want to declare either one the Big 12 champion, which kind of goes into this, where it was like, I felt like they were like, you know what, you don't want to do this. You don't want to declare one champion. You want to do co-champions. Yeah. Then neither of your co-champions get in. How about that? I feel like there was some of that. But still, you have controversy where you have, 4 teams got in. A team that wouldn't have got in under the previous format in Ohio State won the championship. But then you have Baylor and TCU knocking on the door of the outside being like, hey, we deserve to get in just as much as Ohio State. And you don't know what would have happened on the actual field of play. Yeah. So there's people like, and the Big 12 at that time were like, oh no, 4's not enough now if you're going to do this. And I feel like that had a little bit to do with it, and then it just continues on after that. I feel like when Cincinnati got into the CFP, it wasn't because of that year alone. It was because they had been left out previously. They had a team that was good enough previously to get in, and then to get in, it was like, you know what? Here they are again. Let's let them in. Then you got the UCF that you brought up, where once they beat Auburn in the bowl game, it was like they're declaring themselves the national champion. They feel like they were good enough. All you want. They feel like they were good enough to be on the field, and it just goes back to the point I brought up earlier. It's like no matter how big you make the field, the teams on the bubble aren't going to be happy. So when do you stop expanding? But I don't even think it's about that. I mean, we haven't even really hit on this because I think it's obvious. It's like you have the expansion of the NCAA tournament. You have the expansion of the college football playoff. It's because they want more games to make more money because they are crying poor that they can't play players NIL. Like, that's what this is really about. They're trying to get more important games to sell to advertisers so they can make more money so that the powers that be aren't losing out on their money now that they have to cut the players in. That's what this is all about.
It's 100%. And that's why the 4 was never going to work. There was 4 spots for $1 billion, $4 billion spots, and there's 5 conferences. Right. When was that ever going to work? And we saw it even later. The latest iteration of it was what? Florida State going undefeated, and their quarterback getting hurt and them getting left out. Like, that was the most recent one. Then obviously going on and losing to Georgia in the bowl game after they sat out all their players. Mm-hmm. But the conferences being left out of the playoff has always been their big issue, because then you miss out on the money. And so if there's not enough spots for all the conferences, surely they are going to make more.
But the shocking thing to me a little bit is all this talk about how, despite the fact that we all know that this is all a money grab, like this is all an exercise in greed, but even so, there still seems to be like this almost universal notion. It's like, oh yeah, we can get rid of conference championship games. It's like, well, that's one more game of 2 really good football teams who are going to be playing and representing your conference. It's like,
well, that's not really what they're doing. They're getting rid of conference championship games, like, per se, in the way that we perceive it and the way that it's labeled, but it's basically going to be baked into the expansion of the playoff.
Yeah, I guess so. It just, dude, this used to make so much sense. The 14 playoff did make sense. As much as I kind of rail against expansion and all this stuff, and in my perfect world, and this will never, ever, ever happen. In my perfect world, every single week, that they do those reveal shows, the selection shows for the college football playoff and the rankings, every single week you would have a different cutoff point. Like, you could just decide, hey, we think these 5 teams are above the other 20, so we're having a 5-team playoff, and here's what the bracket looks like. You know what? The 6th team had a really good week.
Yes.
We think they're in the top tier now. Like, you can make that cutoff point wherever you want to.
I've thought about that before, and that makes a lot of sense, but it would never happen because people want a bona fide structure of what their playoff is going to be. And if you just have a floating, okay, these teams deserve it versus these teams don't, you're still going to get in the argument of teams getting left out and who's on the bubble. That's always going to be a thing.
That's their fault. But hey, if you want a committee that takes the eye test into account, and maybe you don't because maybe you don't trust their eyes, and that's a different argument. But if you want that, then maybe they can make the decision, hey, this is where the cutoff line is. And this is from watching games, which fine by me. It'd be interesting as hell. Another thing that I want, if there is going to be a playoff with any buys, I also want the coaches being put on the spot and being interviewed on live television. Hey, you're the number 1 seed. Do you want to play this week or do you want to buy? So any sort of complaining about, the bye weeks don't really help them because they have 3 weeks off and blah, blah, blah. Put them on TV. Hey, you're the number 1 seed. You have the first priority. Do you want to buy, yes or no?
Right. That's kind of how, and I know it's like this in basketball. I'm sure it's like this in other high school sports where, like, basically when they do tournaments, they're just writing their name on a blank bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So you can write your name in the second round if you want to and give yourself a bye, or you can choose to play in the first round and play a lesser team and maybe get tuned up or just not feel like you're going to be rusty going into the rest of the playoffs.
Secret subject coming up in 2 minutes. Stick around, 97.1 The Fan.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
Swung on first, high, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Some choose the fast way, others the easy way, but you do things the right way, like Exmark mowers and Boss Brothers power equipment. Exmark builds the world's finest zero-turn mowers, providing a legendary quality of cut, dependability, along with an experience that makes mowing feel like anything but work. Because if it's worth doing right. Stop by one of Boss Brothers' 3 convenient locations in Powell, Sunbury, or Marysville and discover the Exmark mower that will give your lawn the cut it deserves. Boss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Secret subject time. All right, prior to... You brought up something in a commercial break earlier that I thought was super interesting. It does kind of fall into... This is secret subject-y, just random stuff. But you said that you guys were talking on T-Bone and Tyvis trying to come up with a game of, like, what is something that Americans would be as close to 50-50 as possible on?
Yeah, like an experience, not like a topic or a subject. Or,
even so,
I guess.
Like, can you find what is the most likely 50-50 split of anything?
Yeah, because T-Bone and Tyvis were trying to figure that out. And actually what sparked that in my brain was on the money. They were talking about flossing people that floss. And I was like, is that 50-50? Actually, what sparked it was yesterday I was talking to my girlfriend. We were watching some show and someone gave some type of rare blood type to someone else who had the same rare blood type. And I asked her if she knew where her blood type was, and she said yes. But she's a phlebotomist, so I feel like she has to. She literally draws blood for a living. But I don't know my blood type. Me. So I was like, those were like two things that I was like, huh. Are those 50-50 things, people who floss regularly and people that don't, or people that know their blood type and people that don't know their blood type? But after texting and talking to some people about it, I feel like most people don't floss regularly and most people don't know their blood type. I actually feel like those are two bad examples of what we're trying to accomplish here.
I do floss regularly.
Do you?
Yes, I got the floss picks.
What about, and I was surprised about this, Isaiah, again, on the money you guys were talking about it. It was electric toothbrush versus a manual toothbrush. And I thought in 2026, everyone had an electric toothbrush, but all three of you seemed more about the manual toothbrush. I know the other two guys said they do have it, but they're like, yeah, we like the manual brush more.
I've never used an electric toothbrush, and I was shocked people use them.
What?
I didn't know people use those.
Never, ever.
When he said that, I was like, do more people still manually brush than I thought?
What happens first? Isaiah uses an electric toothbrush, or Isaiah has a birthday party.
I'm going with the electric toothbrush. Because how old are you, Isaiah? Like, if you haven't had one yet.
I'm 27.
Yes.
I say he throws him a birthday party at some point.
A full-on party. But another one that I thought of, too, because I heard you guys talking about this, Dylan, on your show, is do people eat breakfast in the morning or not?
Yes, that's a good one.
That's way over 50%.
I don't think so, Cole.
I
am a...
Spoken like somebody who didn't eat breakfast this morning, but I think 100%... 100% it's over 50%. That makes no sense. But it's definitely over 50% people who do eat breakfast.
I don't know, man. I'm a breakfast enthusiast. I know
America runs on diabetes.
I know my girlfriend, she's like, just give me the coffee and then I will just run on vibes until lunch. And I know there's a lot of people that are like that.
That is the first thing that came to my mind in terms of finding a topic or finding anything that America is 50-50 on, or like as close to the pin as possible. Are you a coffee drinker?
I feel like this has to be way over half.
Now,
think about how many coffee shops are popping up everywhere.
Okay, among the three of us, I'm not.
I'm not either.
I'm not. We're over 3. However,
but yeah, I know.
Put 3 women in these seats.
Yes.
yes, and yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a regular coffee drinker.
Right.
Now, I'm open. I'm definitely open to the fact that I may be wrong in saying that's 50-50. But I'm saying full sample size of America. I think so. I think I'd be a better American if I had a coffee addiction.
You know what? This might be, people listening to this station specifically might think this is an idiotic thing to bring up, but just open up your mind and your perspective.
Okay.
The amount of people that watch sports regularly in this country. Do you think that is a 50-50?
Define regularly, because
like once a week you are watching like the majority of a game.
You're turning it on, not somebody else. You're turning the TV on. My fiance watches sports with me.
Right.
If I didn't turn it on, she wouldn't watch.
This is interesting. I have long held the idea that there are way more casual sports fans than diehard sports fans, which is why all these sports leagues cater to casuals,
right?
Which does not serve us. And so when you have diehard fans on the radio and every sports league makes every move with casuals in mind, that's why we have a lot to complain about. But that's an interesting one.
Right, because like even on this station, I mean, to pull the curtain back a little bit, there's a lot of people like that will comment on our social media stuff and be like, these guys don't even talk about sports, yada, yada, yada. Because, yeah, like the top 5-10% of diehards that listen to the station that would love to hear us talk about sports for however long each show is, like, yeah, like there are a lot of you out there, but there's way more people that would rather hear us talk about sports and nonsense than just talk about sports for 2 to 3 hours per show.
Yeah, and look, when you're in the middle of the off season and there's no question, now this is interesting inside the industry type of topic, but like when you're in our industry, it's like, yeah, okay, we are driven by football, whether it be Ohio State, college at large, or NFL at large.
Right.
There's not a whole lot going on May 10th. Now, we actually did have some news about the possible playoff expansion, and we spent like an hour on it. So in that sense, yes. outside of that topic, how much is there? And so it's almost like it's actually better to just find general relatable topics to discuss just to hold an audience instead of forcing a topic about, the NBA playoffs.
Right.
Because
only all like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What was your big takeaway from the Knicks and Hawks in the first round? Like, all right, 614-821-9710. Like,
right.
no. Or like, hey, Lightning versus Canadians. What you got?
Yes.
6-1. No. Like, so it is finding that relatable stuff is better currency.
I mean, but if we do want to tap into the
which, by the way, we're playing a game in the next segment.
Tap into the section of the listener base that would rather us be sports. Who actually was shocked that the Cavs decided to wake up in Game 3 at home? I mean, I'm not. I mean, we predicted it in the morning. We did a show bet, Cavs money line on Friday.
Really?
Yes. We're like, this is where the Cavs wake up when it's like. And I don't remember if it was T-Bone or Tyvus. I think it was Tyvus that equated it to the Blue Jackets. When they can do the no one believes in us bit, damn, they're good.
Congrats on your big victory.
Winner chicken dinner. But as soon as people start having expectations of the Cavs, that's when it goes downhill.
100% true. We don't lose at home once we're down 0-2, but we'll see in Game 4.
Yeah, I think Pistons probably got it in Game 4. The Pistons and 5, maybe 6. Sorry, Isaiah.
Yeah, you're breaking my heart.
Right. Speaking of fun and speaking of screw around, I got a game. It's me versus you two in the next segment. Best 2 out of 3. I'll explain the rules next. Stick around, 97.1 The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to TriStateMen'sHealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Welcome to the Ohio Lottery's Made from Scratch show. Today, I'm sharing how you can make dough from scratch. We're adding a dash of fun and a sprinkle of luck. Now, let's get cooking and see what we've got. And voila! A fresh batch of Ohio Lottery $5 scratch-offs. Nice.
Play Aces and Eights with over $20 million in cash prizes and a top prize of $150,000. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good days. Give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long, so you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
The Reds are on the Fan's family of stations all season long. If you don't listen, Terry Francona will ride his scooter to your house and yell at you. Your home of the Reds. The Fan 2, and the Fan 3.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-5193. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-5193. That's 800-507-5193. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get Eco.
Aaron, who taught you about business?
My mom.
Huh, really?
Yes, really.
What business was she in?
She was in the business of raising 3 kids by herself.
Single mom. That explains a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, it explains why you do an additional $500 worth of repairs for free when people have to buy a new hot water heater.
If someone had done that for Mom, she would have thought they were an angel sent from heaven.
Get Eco.
And it explains why you give people credit for all the money they spent with us for HVAC repairs when they need to buy a new system.
Yeah.
And it explains why you were such a maniac about finding a good toilet that we could sell fully installed for just $650.
Maniac?
You were a maniac, Aaron.
Get Eco.
We've got plumbers, we've got electricians, and we've got HVAC technicians. And every one of them has a mom.
I love you, Mom.
GetEco.com.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
It's sports conversation, but with a drink and umbrella as a garnish. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
By the way, forgot to play this audio during the college football discussion, but you can explain this.
We're not putting the toothpaste back in the toothpaste container.
That's a big miss.
I think that had something. That was a while ago, but I think it honestly was about this topic.
About college football playoff expansion?
Just expansion. It's like, I don't know why he couldn't think of the phrase, but that drop was born. Tooth.
The nickname for the tube is the toothpaste container. Which breaks all the rules of nicknames because it's supposed to be shorter. All right, I got a game for you two.
Okay.
You two against me. We're going to do best 2 out of 3. I'm going to give you guys topics. And you guys, let me see if let me cue up a little game show music. There we go. All right, it's you two against me. Best 2 out of 3. I'm going to give you guys a topic, and you have to fill the entire board, and you get 3 strikes.
Okay.
So here's how it's going to work. Dylan is the team captain. I'm only accepting answers from you. Okay. Now, you can talk to Isaiah as much as you want to, and you can bounce ideas off each other. And by the way, we're on the radio, so think out loud. You don't have to have all of your answers immediately, but if you're going to think, do it out loud.
All right, so there's going to be a point where we lock in the answer.
Yes, okay. You're going to lock in your answers. So I'm not just going to take everything you say because I don't want to jump the gun and maybe like say, oh, that's wrong. And you're like, I didn't even submit that. I was just thinking out loud.
Okay.
So you need to lock in your answers. I'm only taking answers from you, but you can talk to Isaiah all you want to.
All right.
So don't mind me. Now, I will say, this is the first time we're doing this, so this is a feel-out process to see how hard is it. It's probably going to be harder than you guys want it to be, so I'm probably going to win. But
great.
That's not to be unfair.
For fixing the game.
Dude, do you know how much of a wizard this dude is? We played trivia with him with Reimer. I've given him like, are you smarter than a 5th grader questions? And Isaiah carries like you wouldn't believe, dude. So you got a good teammate. Here's what I'm telling you.
All right.
But best 2 out of 3. It's going to be hard, but I'll make it easier next. We'll get a feel for what the difficulty should be. And you got 2 brains to work with, so it's fine. All right. You get 3 strikes before I declare myself a winner. Best 2 out of 3. Name me all 12 teams in the first 12-team college football playoff?
All right. I'm gonna pull up a Word document. I'll just do it on my phone. Okay, so we got the first 12 team, you said, right?
Yep. And you have to lock in your answers, so you can't just shout out 5 teams one by one.
We got Ohio State.
Very good.
Okay, we got Notre Dame.
Yes.
We have SMU.
Yes.
Clemson.
Yes.
Penn State.
Yes.
Oregon. Yes.
Yes.
Tennessee.
Arizona State.
Arizona State was in there. Texas was in there. All right, so we're at 9.
Georgia.
Georgia for sure. Boise. We're missing one.
Indiana.
Indiana, we got it. We got it. You want me to tell them all to you?
One by one.
Okay. So we came up with Ohio State.
Correct.
Notre Dame.
Correct.
SMU.
Correct.
Clemson.
Correct.
Penn State.
Correct.
Oregon.
Correct.
Tennessee.
Correct.
Arizona State.
Correct.
Texas.
Correct.
Georgia.
Correct.
Boise State.
Correct.
Indiana.
12 for 12.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, I'm down 1-0 in the series.
Beautiful.
That's a quick loss for me. I'm down 1-0. I'm going to throw a harder topic at you guys so I can tie this thing up, all right? And this is also going to be tough, keep in mind, because some of the conferences have been changing. You got teams going up from FCS. It's going to be a little bit harder. There are 9 states in America that have exactly one FBS team. Which 9 states in America have exactly one FBS team?
God, that's tough.
Now I see why we need the map.
That's why I told you in the break, pull up a map.
You said 9.
9, and you get 3 strikes.
Okay. Isaiah, I think Hawaii is probably one of them.
That's a good one.
Okay. Let's write that one down. Hawaii.
Is there a Hawaii state? Could there be another one?
I don't think so. I think it's just the Rainbow Warriors and that's it when it comes to the FBS. I wanted to say New Mexico, but there's a New Mexico in New Mexico State.
The first one that comes to mind for me, and I don't know if this is accurate, but I think it's Wisconsin. Aren't they the only team in Wisconsin? I believe they are.
FBS. So we're talking
Green
FBS.
Bay, but that's not.
This is football only. So
yeah,
Green
so this
Bay
isn't
is like Division I in.
It's not like Youngstown State and Oakland and Wright State.
Right. Okay. Wisconsin might be a sneaky one that's in there.
Another one that I thought of too off rip was Nebraska. There's no Nebraska State. Is there another Nebraska?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Because like I said, you have Creighton in Nebraska, but we're talking FBS, which just is football only. So I'm going to write down Nebraska as well. What about Wyoming?
Wyoming.
The Fighting Josh Allens, and that's it.
It feels like, we're going to get to 9 states here. It feels like Wyoming's a good pick.
Yes.
I'm right there with you with is Utah? Utah State doesn't have football, do they?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes, they're FBS. They're not in a power conference. But what about Montana? Does Montana even have one?
Montana State?
Are they FBS?
I don't know.
That's the question. I'm going to write it down under consideration, Montana. What about Minnesota?
Minnesota. I like Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I can get down with that.
How about either of the Dakotas? So North Dakota State is FBS now.
So that would count.
Okay. So North Dakota. Does South Dakota have any?
I don't believe they do.
All right.
I'm going to land on 0 with them.
Okay.
Where do we stand on Kentucky?
They got Kentucky and Louisville.
I'll give you a hint. North Dakota State is not FBS until July 1st.
So
not included.
Okay,
not included.
So we're not counting them for now. They will make 10, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I feel like that's fair.
The great state of New York.
Syracuse?
They got Syracuse and Buffalo, so no. What about the other Northeast states? UConn. Is it just them in Connecticut?
I can't think of another one.
Let's put it down.
But I think the Northeast as a whole, I'm not going to come out of there with a lot of schools.
Right? Massachusetts. Is it just UMass? Are they even FBS at football? Yes, they're in the MAC, right?
Yes, they are. They
okay.
Are. Right?
But
yes.
No, Boston College. No to Massachusetts.
The ACC gets up in there.
Vermont, no, 0, right? Vermont and Maine, we ain't got any FBS. Rhode Island, Delaware. Are they FBS now?
I don't think they are.
Dang it. Because I know, I know Flacco played there, but they were FCS.
There's no way they're FBS. I don't think.
All right.
What about, this is going to be another one, Arkansas.
Is Arkansas State FBS?
I don't think so.
For some reason, I think it is, but I'm struggling to come up. I'll write down Arkansas.
What are we at? We got to be close to 9.
I have 8 written down, but I don't have faith in all of them.
I have faith in very few.
Missouri?
Mizzou?
Is that it? I'm putting down Missouri.
Yeah, put it down. I can't think of another one.
You don't have to submit them all at once, by the way. You can submit them one by one along the way and figure out your strikes.
All right. Let me go through the ones that we're somewhat confident in. Hawaii. Can we lock that in?
Locking in Hawaii?
Yes.
Correct.
Hot start.
Are we feeling good about Wisconsin?
Let's do it.
Let's lock in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's correct.
Nebraska. Do you want to lock that one in?
Feels good.
Lock in Nebraska.
3 for 3.
We want to lock in Wyoming?
Let's do Wyoming.
Wyoming. Lock it in.
4 for 4.
How about Montana? Do we want to lock in Montana?
Yeah, let's do Montana.
Let's lock in Montana.
Strike 1. Montana and Montana State are both FCS.
All right. How do you feel about Missouri, Isaiah?
I feel pretty good about Missouri.
Let's lock in Missouri.
Missouri State got promoted to FBS last year. That's strike 2.
Oh, my goodness. Connecticut. Do we want to lock in Connecticut?
UConn, yep.
Let's do Connecticut.
That's 5.
Okay. Arkansas? You feel good about
Let's do Arkansas.
Lock it in.
Strike 3.
Darn it.
Arkansas State aren't they?
Arkansas State is also in the FBS.
Dang it. Okay, the other one we had, I know we lost already, but the other one we had was Missouri.
You already said Missouri. That was one of your strikes.
Okay.
You were thinking of Minnesota.
Yes, Minnesota. Minnesota, yes.
The four states that have exactly one FBS school that you guys did not get. Delaware.
Dang it.
Just got promoted to the FBS last year. They were in their first year.
Stupid helmets.
Minnesota. Idaho and New Jersey.
I think we could have got to New Jersey eventually.
You were in the Northeast, and I'm like, I'm looking at 3 states on my list. So we got a 1-1 series tie, and we got one more segment to go. I'm going to throw one at them. This is going to be, I think, fair difficulty. So it's a 1-1 series, one more segment to go. Thanks for having fun with us. Keep it here, 97.1 The Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones, and all on the T-Mobile network.
How about we go to Metro today?
Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Not available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
Hey, Central Ohio, Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and we buy houses for cash. If you've got a house you need to sell, this is your season. Inherited, behind on payments, just over it? Whatever brought you here, we can help. We buy as is, we cover all closing costs, and there are 0 commissions, period. Just a fair cash offer, and you choose your closing date. People are making moves right now, and we make it simple to be one of them. One call is all it takes. We'll get you a fair cash offer, fast, no pressure, no obligation. Hundreds of your neighbors have already sold the easy way, and we've got 5-star reviews and BBB A+ rating to back it up. Take what you want, leave what you don't. We're based right here in Columbus, and we're ready when you are. Call us at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355 or visit selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, family owned. Call 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Yesterday in NBA action, the Cavaliers got a win against the Pistons 116-109. Donovan Mitchell had 35 in the win, but it was James Harden who closed out the game for the Cavs with 7 points in the final 2 minutes. The Cavs still trail the Pistons 2-1 in the series. Game 4 is tomorrow at 8. In other NBA action, last night the OKC Thunder went up 3-0 on the LA Lakers, and then today at 3:30 the Knicks face the 76ers, and then later on the Spurs travel to Minnesota at 7:30. Today in baseball, both Ohio teams suiting up at 1:40 as the Guardians play the Twins and the Reds have the Astros. Coverage begins right here on the Fan for the Reds at 1:10. In NHL news, after sweeping the Ottawa Senators in the first round, the Carolina Hurricanes completed a second-round sweep of the Philadelphia Flyers last night. It marked the first time that the team has gone undefeated in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs since the 7-game series format was established in 1987.
Are you still in your pajamas? We are. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Cool. All right. 8 segments down, 1 to go. I believe our out time is 109.40 before we pass it off to the Reds who are coming in. And Isaiah's going to throw it there, whether I'm mid-sentence or not. So it's up to me, and it's up to you two to be good teammates, all right? Here's how you do it. You pass me the ball with either 10 seconds left. Actually, pass me the ball with like 10 seconds left. Okay? Don't do this like old Russell Westbrook pass it into his teammates when the shot clock's about to go off and then his teammates put up the shot and miss the shot. So I need 10 seconds.
Need some time to cook.
Don't pass it to me with 2 seconds. Don't pass it to me with 1 minute because that puts me in a bad spot. So we're all going to be teammates here, but the Reds are coming on right after us. So if you were tuned into the previous segment, you heard that we were debuting a new game. Don't really know what we're calling it, but at any rate, it's best 2 out of 3, you 2 against me. So in the first category, I said name all 12 teams from the 2024-2025 college football playoff that Ohio State was the national champion of, and they swept me 12 for 12. They get 3 strikes, and they still swept me. The second round, I had to throw my best stuff at them. I said there are 9 states in America that have exactly 1 FBS school. Name all 9. They got 5 of them and then ran out of all 3 strikes. They said Montana, Missouri, Arkansas State. Montana doesn't have any. Montana and Montana State are both FCS schools. Missouri State got promoted from the FCS to the FBS this past season, so they do have 1 season under their belt, and they forgot about Arkansas State. But still got 5 out of 9, and I thought that was a tough question. So this one, I'm not really sure what the difficulty is going to be of this one, but I need you guys to give me 10 answers. You got 3 strikes to work with, and it's a 1-1 series, so whoever wins this wins the game. Name me 10 Bengals first-round picks.
All right, let's get the easy ones out of the way. We got Joe Burrow, and we got Jamar Chase.
AJ Green, was he a first rounder?
Yes. Then we got the recent one like Shamar Stewart. Well, that was from 2 drafts ago, but they did not have a first-round pick in this last draft.
And I could not throw the Browns at them because Zeke would have ran the table in about 2 seconds.
All right. You said name 10.
Oh,
I have
John
4
Ross.
For sure. John Ross, yes, and his 40 time that got him up there to like the 9th pick. Man.
Who else did they pick? They picked some offensive linemen, haven't they?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you who it is. I know Andy Dalton was a 2nd-round pick the year AJ Green, so we can't. Carson Palmer.
That's one.
What if we go back to gosh, can't believe this is so hard. If we go back to like a Boomer Esiason.
Ooh, can he be a first rounder? Andy Dalton wasn't first round, was he?
No. I'm not going to write down Boomer Esiason right now. We'll put him down if we get desperate. Gosh, trying to think. Was Pac-Man Jones a first round? Was he a pick by the Bengals? I don't think. I don't think the Bengals drafted him. Gosh, this is tough.
This is tough. Are there any other? Who are some of their other notable players? They could possibly be a first round pick.
Like Chad Johnson, I want to say he wasn't a first round pick. Someone like Corey Dillon.
Could have been. Running backs used to be hot, man.
All right, let's lock in some right here. Let's lock in the ones we got.
Let's see what we have.
I'm here for you.
We want to lock in Joe Burrow.
That is correct.
Jamar Chase.
That is correct.
A.J. Brown.
I so badly want to say...
A.J. Green. Sorry. I don't know why I wrote down A.J. Brown. A.J. Green. My bad. A.J. Brown's on my mind.
I wanted to hold that against you, but I will not count that as a strike.
A.J. Green. Yes. Yep. Shamar Stewart.
Yep.
John Ross.
Correct.
Carson Palmer.
6 for 6.
All right.
You got 3 strikes to play with. I need 4 more Bengals first-round picks.
All right. I can't believe we can't think of the recent ones. But you know what? That says more about their ability to draft than anything else. Okay?
Oh, look how he turned that and blamed the Bengals.
Oh, man.
That's a great spin job. Way to go, spin doctor.
Of who have they even picked recently? Oh, give me one. Why didn't we think of this? Think of crappy first-round picks from the Bengals. They had to be from the team up north. Give me Dax Hill. He's got to be one. Cornerback from Michigan. I'm fairly certain he was a first-rounder.
Let's just go ahead and lock in Dax Hill.
I'm fairly certain he was a first-rounder.
Daxton Hill, 7 for 7.
Okay.
Browns fans make fun of that all the time. That's why I know that one.
Gosh.
He's not as bad as Geno Stone. Geno Stone was in the first round.
Who's the Achilles Smith? Is his last name Smith?
Achilles Smith.
Yes.
I've not heard of that one.
Big time bust for the Bengals. I know his name is Achilles. I don't remember his last name quite.
Achilles Smith.
We got 2 minutes left. I'm locking in Achilles Smith.
Achilles Smith, yes.
Yes, let's go.
How about the Tim Couch into Donovan McNabb into Achilles Smith?
Yes.
One of these is not like the other.
All right, so that's 8, right?
It's like the anti-clown in the military.
We got to just start throwing stuff against the wall.
You're 8 for 8 in 3 strikes.
I'm fairly certain they drafted... I'm going straight from Michigan to Ohio State. Didn't they draft Billy Price? I'm fairly certain.
Straight from Michigan. Oh, no, I know what you mean now.
From Michigan to Ohio State.
Let's just do it.
I feel like they got Billy Price.
Let's lock in Billy Price.
9 for 9.
Yes, let's go. We can need one more. And we have all our strikes left. Do we want to do Boomer or...
Yeah, let's throw out some old names.
Boomer Esiason.
2nd round pick.
I don't want to do Corey Dillon. I don't feel good about it, but we're running out of names.
I have very few names left that I could even think of for Bengals players.
Let's just throw Corey Dillon against the wall and lock it in.
2nd round pick.
Oh my goodness. You see, at least we were in the neighborhood with those two.
Hey, this is going to be close. Hey, it's game 7 right now. All right, it's a 1-1 series. You guys have 1 Bengal left and 1 strike left. This has to be the most fair topic ever. Not to make this about me.
What about Vontaze Burfict?
A linebacker?
He could have went like in the middle. They're mediocre a lot. They have a lot of 6 and 10, 7 and 9 seasons where they're picking like 16th overall.
Where I've almost run out of names for Bengals players that they've drafted.
1 minute on the show clock.
Just for the sake of time, I think we should do it.
I like Perfect.
Vontez Perfect.
No.
Lock it in.
Hey.
Man, we blew that one. We're like,
winner, chicken dinner.
Woo! I'm impressed we got as far as we did.
We got 9.
Vontez Perfect, I believe, was a 7th round pick.
Really?
Some
He wasn't
character
even
issues bumped him down.
in the vicinity.
Yes.
We just got worse and worse and worse.
Amarius Mims, Miles Murphy, who they just declined his 5th-year option, Jonah Williams, William Jackson III, Tyler Eifert, Darquez Denard.
Tyler Eifert.
That could have maybe been a name that we could have pulled out.
I was trying to go through skill positions, and tight end was one of them. I didn't have it.
Jermaine Gresham, Keith Rivers, Andre Smith.
Yes, this is on them, not on us.
All right, hey, I had fun. I hope you guys have fun. Speaking of Cincinnati, the Reds are next. Keep it here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.